what we're gonna do is we're gonna go white perch fishing over brush piles on Lake Bistineau, old school way. We're gonna fish the way my dad and granddad did for years before we ever got a trolling motor or a swivel seat or rod and reel. Of course, back then we'd cut our own cane poles, you know, and big old cork, a cork, not fiberglass cork, a cork. About 10 days ago, that poor This is one of the beautiful lakes in the state. You know, people come down from up north and they're astounded. You cannot believe trees actually grow in water. Now, these are what we call little jewel poles. Took the place of the cane pole. If you get one of them big old white perch on there about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, you're fixing to see some action. Every now and then you'll catch you a catfish, channel cat, maybe a blue. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fix you up with live bait. And I'm gonna throw a little Mr. Twister jig. When you pull up to these brush piles, he'll usually hit it pretty quick if he's in there. Now with the water dropping, the water's probably about 10 feet deep here. Water's come down about 1 foot, I guess. So the brush is sticking up a little high. I use sweet gum, willow, and sometimes I'll cut cypress limbs. It's against the law to cut a cypress tree. What we want to do is get the smallest shiner we can find. There you go. We like the small shiner. I hook them right through the socket of the eyes here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you going right here before I get going.
Okay.
But let's see if we can get one right out of here on Randy's plate. Now this is going to be your rig right here, so I'm fixing to throw you in there. And what you do is when that cork goes down, you pull it. Oh, got him. Oh, he got away. Ah. Let's get you a smaller shot. Now this place coming up is called Levi's place. That's my Uncle Levi. He'd come down and spend vacation with us sometimes when we were a kid, but he wouldn't fish any of Daddy's places, which was right there. Right. So what he did is he made him a place right over here so that he wouldn't have to fish Daddy's place. But you can see he'd be fishing on that one. Daddy'd be right there. They're about 20 yards apart. And so he'd say, well, see there, I can make my own place, catch my own fish. And ever since then, we call it Levi's place. Oh yeah, I got it.
Already got him? There you go.
Get the net.
Oh,
he's a good one. He's a good one.
There we go.
All right. Now that is a genuine white perch. You notice the stripes run up and down. Not a speckled perch, but a white crappie. You got white crappie, black crappie. That's a white crappie. Yeah. Now that will give you 2 good fillets right there. One of the better places on the lake is coming up here. It's going to be right behind the Blue Pond sign. Hopefully the Salvina won't encroach to the point we can't fish it. That's a good one. I don't know what you got, but my goodness, son, get that fish in here.
I'm trying to get him.
Oh, that's got to be a big, oh, look at that big old catfish.
Oh, it's a catfish. Gosh. Oh my God.
Dang, look at
Whoa.
that. How about that?
Woo!
Did he pull?
He pulled.
Yeah, he pulled. What have I got? You got you a nice cat. Looks like a, yeah, it's a channel cat, about a 3-pound channel. You're gonna get some good fillets off of this, I guarantee you. So I'm gonna be catfishing on this side. We're gonna be white perch fishing on that other side.
That rod and reel's not very fancy. Tell me about that rod and reel again.
That rod and reel was one of my dad's rod and reels, and the reason I fish it is just kind of in memory of him. He's always dropped that rod and reel down the side of the boat, picked up a few catfish around these brush piles, and I just kind of keep his little thing going by doing that. And every time I get one on there, I always pass it off to who's ever with me, one of the kids. I mean, They just love to. I was going to put a tip to that line right there. Get him, get him, get him. You got him. Get him. Hold him.
I'm trying not to reel him in anymore. Got him.
That's a big old blue.
I didn't know what you were telling me. Get him, get him, get him.
You're looking over there.
I'm watching my bobber.
This is pretty much something I want to share with people. I've been doing this all my life. It's really a fun way to fish for people who can't chunk and whine all day. You know, we're sitting in a boat watching a cork and fishing brush piles, some of the same spots my dad put in 50 years ago, and I'm still catching fish. Even though the water has been drained out of the lake over and over and over, they come right back into these brush piles just like the water never dropped the next summer when it fills up.
Now, what do you call this style of fishing?
This is white perch fishing, old school style. That's what I call it.
Now, when you say old school style, you seem to take this to the extreme. We could be old school style fishing in a nice bass boat, right? I mean, but no. Your old school fishing is from the boat to everything else.
There you go. You see this paddle? I don't know how old this paddle is, but it's about, God only knows how old it is. But I scull around these white perch spots with this old paddle. We have live bait. I have a few crappie jigs. Matter of fact, I'm fishing a jig right now. And we have a boat that's probably 55 years old. My uncle made it for my grandfather whenever I was a kid. I watched him make this boat, handmade. So you're talking about old school. We're using fishing poles. We're fishing over sunk brush, live shiners with a cork. You know, we're not throwing...
No fish finder, nothing like that?
No depth finder, and we're fishing over sunk brush, like I say, on places that are, gosh, are older than I am.
So what do you tell somebody if they call you up and they say, we hear you do some old school fishing? How do you explain it to them? What do you tell them?
Here's, very shortly, we're in a John boat. We're using live bait with a fishing pole, and I'm gonna use a paddle. We're not gonna have a depth finder. We're not gonna have anything high tech at all. And I'm gonna show you how we caught fish when I was a kid. Anybody can do this. If you have, you know, a lot of single parents, you know, don't have a boat and have a child that sees all this fishing going on TV, well, naturally the child can't throw rod and reels, of open face and all that, but he can hold a fishing pole. So a single parent coming out here with a child, you know, is perfect for them because they can do it.
Another catfish?
Another catfish.
What do you think? I mean, we're catching catfish today.
Well, dadgummit, the white perch are just not cooperating like we want them to. But that catfish right there will make a good mess of meat. I'm gonna tell you that. Get that paddle back over here, boy.
Yeah, that's your trolling motor. You can't lose that.
Now that's a blue. But again, if you cut that fat off of them, they eat really good, and I know how to fix it. You'll have a bag of filet for sure when you get home today. Catfish oil, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. If you're gonna eat catfish, that's the best ones to eat. Let's get you a big old white perch out of there now.
Okay, let's try it again.
All right.
I'm trying my best to.
Man, oh my goodness, look at that catfish right there. Golly. Get that cat out of there. This is going to be some good eating too right there.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You got it for me.
Here you go.
I didn't know what we were talking about a while ago. You're like, here, get him, get him, get him, get him.
Oh my gosh. Well, we didn't do good on the white perch, but we got a bag of catfish fillets, don't we? Now that's a nice little channel cat right there.
There you go. At first, I thought you were trying to tell me something about my line. Get him. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Old school? I thought we were doing old school.
And we quit that when it comes time to clean fish.
Oh.
Now, old school is my dad would hand fillet these rascals. He did not want me using a knife, he said, because you leave too much of the meat on the bone.
Our old school would be, we wouldn't be filleting them.
No, you hang them up on these hooks right here and skin them out. And he said, no, don't do that knife on there, you waste too much fish. But I'm pretty good at it. I don't seem to waste too much of it. I bait the hook, I put you on the fish, I clean the fish, I put them in a baggie for you, and I send you on your way and say, y'all come back now.